Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
Good things come in all sizes. Just take the two best outfielders in baseball. Mike Trout is your classic broad-shouldered slugger who has powered his way to the title of best player in the game. In contrast, Mookie Betts stands only 5'9", but his power belies his small stature. His production has made the Red Sox one of the best offenses in baseball. Led by two of the best in the game, the Angels and Red Sox match is up next. The road trip continues as today's ball game is brought to you by City National Bank. The Angels dropped the makeup game against Kansas City yesterday afternoon, and tonight at Fenway Park they kick off a three-game set against the second-place Boston Red Sox. Move up inside our broadcast booth inside Fenway Park and back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and I tell you what, can't say anything else other than the fact you just saw two of the best players in the game in that tease. Mookie Betts going for Boston. Of course, Mike Trout still DHing, although the finger feels a little bit better.
Yeah, Victor, he might be in the outfield sometime during the series, but today DH. And when you think about it, even walking around Boston and Fenway Park, the discussion is the two best players in all of baseball. Mike Trout having probably his best season yet, and even though he's already won 2 MVPs, he's been hitting the ball very well, getting on base, he's been stealing bags, his power numbers are there, on-base percentage off the chart, and he's been able to hit pitches to left field, center field, and even going the other way. Mookie Betts, I'll tell you what, even against the Angels at home, he was crushing the baseball. His numbers, outstanding. When you think about it, not a lot of help for him at the bottom part of their lineup, but he's still incredibly productive this season for Boston. When you look at overall numbers, when you make those comparisons between Mookie Betts and Mike Trout, very similar as far as the numbers they've been able to produce for each individual team. 325, 338 as far as the batting average. Home runs very close. On base percentage and on base slugging percentage very, very close too when you think about between the two. And RBI, they're very similar players, both as far as driving the ball out of the ballpark, and both can play outstanding defense, although Trout DHing tonight.
Red Sox probably have another guy that you could throw in the mix as far as the MVP, and J.D. Martinez having a fantastic season, his first with the Boston Red Sox. John Lamb is on the mound for the Angels. David Price on the mound for the Boston Red Sox. When we return to Fenway, we'll focus in on Price.
2019 Jeep Cherokee. Embrace every new opportunity with a redesigned exterior and 31 Highway MPG. Test drive one today. By Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by your SoCal Mazda dealers.
Welcome back out to Fenway Park. Game one of this three-game set between the Angels and the Boston Red Sox. And the Red Sox took it to the Angels at the Big A. And one of the guys that started it was David Price. He's on the hill tonight.
Well, when you think about it, his first 7 starts of the season, not real good for David Price, but his last 8 has been outstanding. An ERA, 2.86, 6-1 mark. Only just a 217 batting average allowed against David Price. My go-tos, though, for the Angels to be successful against David Price today is catch that cutter out in front. He will give up the long ball on his cut fastball when you get that barrel of the bat and get it out in front of the plate and try to hook it over into that green monster. And also hit that pesky change. He'll throw his change up quite a bit, go right down there toward the pesky pole and be able to pull that pitch, especially on the in or out of the plate or away against right-handed batters.
Too much peskiness in that open for you, Gooby.
Yes, indeed.
You got to stop doing that. We're just about ready for baseball here in Boston. Sit back, relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return.
Hammered out to deep left field. Rev Snyder going back at the wall. Gone! Big fly for Mike Trout.
He laid into that one. Back it goes and kiss it goodbye. Nice start to the night for Mookie.
Is brought to you by Hyundai. Get a great deal more than a great deal on all new Hyundai vehicles. See your Hyundai dealer today. And by Jack in the Box. Try the $4.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club Combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box. Welcome back out to Fenway Park, the opener of this three-game set. You see the Red Sox have already taken the field. The anthem has been sung, and game one just about ready to get started here. The Angels looking to bounce back after a couple of losses to the Toronto Blue Jays on Sunday, the Kansas City Royals in the makeup game yesterday. And they will have their hands full with a very good Boston Red Sox team, Gooby.
Yeah, they will. I mean, the big thing is the Angels have played very well here of late at Fenway Park. It's really struggling against Boston at home, outscored 27-3. Again, you just think in terms of driving the baseball well here, especially on the fastball cutter in against David Price, and just use its entire field and be aggressive on the bases.
Take a look at the lineup for Mike Sosha and his ball club that comes into play today with a 41-38 record, 10.5 back in the West. Kinsler will lead things off at second, Trout back at DH. Upton in left, Pujols at first, Simmons at shortstop, Maldonado behind the plate, Fletcher getting to start at third base, Young is in center, and Michael Hermosillo gets a start out in right. He will bat ninth. David Price on the mound. This will be his 16th appearance. 8-5 with a 3.81 ERA.
Yeah, he's thrown the ball. We talked about that just a little bit ago in our opening as far as how well he's thrown in his last 8 starts. 6-1 with a very good ERA, 2 under 3. David Price, for me, you just have to make sure you go ahead and get that cut fastball out in front. And again, with his changeup, you got to use the whole field against it.
Check out the Red Sox on the defensive side of things. It'll look like this. Benintendi is out in left field. Bradley in center. Betts is in right. Devers on the left side with Bogarts. Nunez and Moreland on the right. Vasquez behind the plate.
And Jackie Bradley Jr. out in center field. One of the best center field as far as going back on the baseball. Strong throwing arm, too, when you think about it. 13 assists back in 2014 and 2016. 3 assists so far this season. He can cover some serious ground here at Fenway Park.
Boston second in the American League East. A half game back of the New York Yankees with a 52-27 record. David Price has done his part, especially of late, as we just talked about it. Good crowd expected as usual here at Boston. Dave O'Brien, their television announcer, telling me in the pregame show, when you're at 52 wins at this time of year, Red Sox fans are usually pretty happy.
Until you lose tonight, then they'll be upset again.
Kinsler 212 on the season, leading things off. First pitch, foul back.
I think that's aggressive is the right way in approach against Price. Batting average against him at 0-0 when you put it in play, 341. 0-1 count, 385, and even 1-0 count, 364. Alex Cora's done a very good job managing this club. This is not an easy city to manage in, and he's done a good job his first year around.
It's popped up right side. Moreland drifting back. Nunez is going to call him off. And there's out number 1. He had retired. Trout will come to the play with nobody on base. Trout yesterday afternoon on board twice with a walk and a single. 1 for 3 overall. Batting .325. He will look at a strike. Chris Siegel calling the balls and strikes. Gabe Morales at first, had Hickox over at second. Jerry Meals, the crew chief. Umpiring crew for this 3-game set. 23 home runs, 48 RBIs for Mike.
We've seen a lot of fastballs thrown in upper strike zone fastballs thrown, whether it's a cut fastball or fastball against Trout over the last 4 or 5 games. Trout has never hit a home run in this ballpark, although he is a .318 career hitter against the Red Sox with 8 home runs, all with the big A. None here in this ballpark.
Skies this one out to shallow center. Bradley broke back, now has to come in on it. 2 down.
In my Hyundai key for this game today against David Price and the Red Sox, going a little Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing. That means when you get a chance to get that barrel of the bat on a cut fastball, you don't want to miss that pitch, and you want to drive it. And Upton has that ability to drive the ball, especially that cutter, out in front against David Price.
2 quick outs for Price against the Angels, and here's Upton. .250 batting average. That went off his ankle, it looked like.
You're seeing some aggressive swinging right away against Price. Talked about batting average against him in his first 2 pitches. Hitters have been successful when he put it in play.
Upton went 0 for 4 yesterday. Angels managing just 3 hits in the 2-0 shutout of Kansas City, or by Kansas City. Out toward right, playable for Betts. 3 fly ball outs for David Price here in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first with no score. Lineup mentioned at 52 and 27. Second in the East. Betts will lead things off at right. Benintendi is in left field. JD Martinez at DH. Sander Bogarts at shortstop. Mitch Moreland at first. Eduardo Nunez at second base. Devers at third base. Vasquez behind the plate. Jackie Bradley Jr. rounding out that starting 9 as they take on John Lamb. Making his third start. 8 1/3 innings so far. 9 hits, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, and an ERA of 5.40.
Yeah, fastball, cut fastball, curveball, changeup, 88-91 on his fastball. My go-tos for Lamb to be successful here this evening against Boston is quick outs on his fastball. In other words, you run that fastball down and away and bust him in with a fastball and keep the baseball in the yard. Saw that big time against the Angels at the Big A as far as the home run ball for Boston.
It was not pretty for the Angels as swinging first pitch and driven out to right field. You were just talking about that. Hermosillo near the bullpen, leaps up, goes over the wall. Hopefully he's all right. And it is 1-0 Red Sox. 11 home runs hit in that 3-game set in which the Red Sox swept the Angels at Angel Stadium, and Betts gets it started here tonight.
The 5th home run he has hit against the Angels this season. You know, when you think about it, his career batting average this year, 260. I mean, for his career against the Angels, 267. Hitting .538 coming into the game with 4 home runs. Now make that 5 home runs for Betts against the Angels this season.
Heck of an effort by Hermosillo in right field. Let's see what Torrey Hunter did that a couple years ago for the Angels.
Yep, that comeback for the Red Sox against the Tigers. Was that a grand slam?
I don't remember.
Was that Ortiz that hit that?
Benintendi, the left fielder.
Was Big Papi.
That is ripped down to right. Hermosillo has to come in, makes the catch. 1 down. Steps up JD Martinez, a DH. Red Sox put up 27 runs in that 3-game sweep of the Angels earlier this season. That's his home run, his 20th of the year. For Boston, their 110th. This one's lined out to right center field. That's going to fall down, go to the wall. Typical JD Martinez fashion, going the other way. Picks up his 19th double of the year. And I mentioned it, and I said it kind of half-heartedly when we were talking about Trout and Betts as far as MVP candidates. But you cannot dismiss what JD Martinez has done for this Red Sox team.
And he's crushed the ball the other way. He allows the baseball to travel so much deeper in the strike zone now and it stays back on the ball, creates that backspin and lines it the other way as well as anybody in baseball. He leads the majors with 11 opposite field home runs this season. He's tied for third with opposite field hits with 30. And everyone was worried about it when he came and put on that Red Sox uniform, that would take away his ability to go the other way. Well, that's not been the case at all. Well, early on, you're seeing Boston being extremely aggressive on the first pitch.
And not trying to pull Lamb, just kind of going with what's given to him.
That pitch is almost right down the heart of the plate. Again, you want to keep that glove right in there. Team Maldonado was asking Chris Siegel where that pitch was.
One 0 count on Bogaerts. The shortstop hitting .279, 12 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Leaving up the count.
I think you always have to keep in mind when you pitch in this ballpark, it seems to be the pitcher, especially your first times pitching in this ballpark, you try to pitch away. You got to pitch in and in off the plate. Hitters here, especially Red Sox hitters over the years, love to get their arms extended because most pitchers try to pitch you away. Pitch in and pitch off and in.
Reaching for it, pops it up. Shallow right center. Kinsler's got to go out. Hermosillo calls him off. 2 down. Martinez still at second base. Mitch Moreland coming to the plate. Moreland, the first baseman. Hitting .299. Going. Moreland hitting .299 on the season. 11 home runs, 39 runs batted in.
Remember, he's a guy that hits the fastball elevated very, very well.
One ball, one strike.
He's been very good with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. See those numbers, 455. That's the 9th best in the majors in that category with runner in scoring position right now. So you do have an open base, even though it's lefty versus lefty. You have to make a quality pitch here against Moreland if you're Lamb.
Good fastball. And a dangerous one in that Moreland, like Justin Smoke, as we talked about with the Toronto Blue Jays, he likes the ball up. He's not a low ball hitter.
And he has hit the Angels very well this season, hitting .500, 4 for 8 with 5 RBI. Still think you can get him to chase now down and away off the plate with the breaking ball, whether it's your cutter or curveball.
And he did get him to chase for that 3rd out, but a leadoff home run by Mookie Betts gives the Red Sox a 1-0 lead as we head to the 2nd.
military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Boston on top 1-0 here at the top of the second at Fenway Park. Beautiful Tuesday night. The original start of this road trip. But that makeup game kind of threw a little wrinkle into it. Price with a 1-2-3 first. Facing Pujols here to lead off the second. Albert takes a strike.
Albert, good career numbers against Price. 323, 10 for 31, a couple home runs. And that's that all-speed pitch. You got to think in terms of hitting that ball the other way. If he starts getting hitters to try to chase and pull that changeup, especially with all the right-handed bats in the lineup, it's going to be difficult to score against them.
One and two. Second start of the season for Price against the Angels. Went on April 17th. Picked up the W. Lasted 5 innings. Gave up 3 hits, 1 run. Issued 4 walks to go with 6 strikeouts now in just 78 pitches. Looked like he went around, and he did. 1 away.
A couple of changeups in that sequence against Pujols for Price. Looked like he was committed to a fastball in. Got a changeup instead.
Andrelton Simmons hitting .308. Look at strike 1. He had one of the 3 hits. It was an infield base hit. Yesterday's game against Kansas City. 12 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, 34 runs batted in.
Well, you look where Vasquez is set up. He's well off that inside part of the plate. When you look at the numbers versus Price's fastball this season as compared to his secondary pitches, you can see why he's throwing that cutter more often. Fastball, this 188 batting average against him with 1 home run. Those secondary pitches, that's a cutter, change, and curveball, 295 with 7 home runs. You got to get that cut fastball out in front.
This is out toward right, slicing away from Betts. Had a good jump on it. He will track it down for out number 2. Mookie Betts, a guy who started as a second baseman, moved to center field, and done a heck of a job in right.
He's got an excellent, accurate throwing arm out in the right field also. But you look at the way this defense is set up for Boston in the outfield. They bunched the gaps, a lot of room in both corners. There's a lot of speed out in the outfield for Boston as far as coverage for baseballs that are hit in each corner.
Martin Maldonado hitting .248. Batting in the number 6 spot. Tied for the Angels. Angels with that loss yesterday, now at 21-17 out on the road this year. Boston, as usual, plays very good baseball here at Fenway. They're 25-12. At .284 as a team here in their home ballpark. Well, they've pitched better from an ERA standpoint out on the road. We have here at home. 3.92 versus 3.15. 2-0. 2-1.
Cutter off the plate, chased it.
Talk about chasing, went after that off-speed pitch.
And again, if you're going to go for that changeup, you have to think in terms of right field, right center field. You cannot try to pull that pitch. It's one thing Price does very well as far as that changeup off the outside corner, but he keeps the hitter honest with that cutter inside.
Halos down in order. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Price. 1-0 Boston. To all-inclusive packages for you and your guests. Call 888-796-HALO. Go to angels.com for more details. 1-0 Sox here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Mookie Betts with a leadoff home run. It's 15th of his career.
So a lot of swings at the first pitch. The Red Sox in the 1st inning. Nunez is the hitter that will swing at the first pitch also.
252 hitter. A lot of playing time in second base. Now it'll fall in for a leadoff single. Third hit allowed by John Lamb. We'll bring up Rafael Devers.
And another hitter in this lineup for the Red Sox. It's aggressive.
Time called to play.
I think that goes back to Alex Cora and his conversation he had with his hitters to start with as manager of the Red Sox. Instead of always working counts, get yourself into a fastball count, and that could be the very first pitch. We're seeing a lot of swings at the first pitch early on for the Red Sox.
237 on the season, 12 home runs and 40 runs batted in. And Devers, left-handed batter, really crowds the plate. He had a heck of a series along with Mookie Betts against the Angels. He was 7 for 14 with 2 home runs, 7 RBIs in a 3-game series. No balls and a strike. It's a borderline pitch, but because Maldonado took it out to try to bluff a pickoff attempt, Didn't give the home plate umpire an opportunity to read that pitch.
And you want to stay in that position and frame the pitch, present it as if it's in the strike zone first before you make any decision to throw on a back pick.
And that, there, to my point, that pitch is more of a ball than the previous one.
But if you stay there, frame it, present it.
I mean, to me, it's nice that you want to pick off guys at first base, but you got a guy on the mound right now where hitters are attacking him early on. You want to settle him down first. If you can get quick outs, get him. This one off the end of the bat towards Kinsler. He drops the baseball, has no play. Everyone is safe. So from a tailor-made double play ball to no outs, 2 men on base. Ball had a lot of spin on it because it was off the end of the bat.
Yeah, but Ray is going to be able to flip it right to Andrelton Simmons. And then after that, no play at all. Credit Devers for running hard down the line to make sure there was no play at first base. Also, same thing with Nunez going to second.
He's got Devers, that is sneaky speed for a big guy.
We saw that in Anaheim, that first series of the season against the Red Sox.
Second error of the season by Kinsler, the 34th, I should say, by the Angels. And now it's Christian Vasquez, the catcher, up. 211 hitter, a couple of home runs, 11 runs batted in. He'll take a strike.
Vasquez is rolling into 4 double plays. It's a big moment for John Lamb to be able to pick up his teammate. Kinsler's been outstanding defensively this season. You want to pick him up here, get a ground ball and an infielder, see if you get a double play turn.
Ground ball, weakly hit towards short. Simmons only plays to first. 1 down. Runners advance 90 feet.
Almost worked as if it was a bunt.
Like the pitch though, in on the hands. Jackie Bradley Jr. coming up. Take a look at that pitch again.
Runs that cutter in, off the plate in. Very good pitch from Lamb. Thought that Mike Scioscia might bring the infield in here, but in this ballpark, you want to try to prevent a big inning going against you, playing the infield back here, even though David Price has thrown the ball well so far the first couple of innings.
Bradley, the center fielder, 189 hitter, 4 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Will strike out, 66 strikeouts this year. Infield back at normal depth. They'll give up the run for the out. He'll punch this one out to left field. Very good piece of hitting. 2 runs will come in to score. The throw gets cut off, and instead of throwing it to second base and conceding that second run, keep Bradley at first, Upton decides to come home, and well, rightfully so. Bradley takes second base. It's 3-0.
It's good base running by Bradley Jr. Seeing that throw coming towards the plate. And he's done a pretty good job, even though he has struggled mightily on the offensive side this season. Bradley Jr. He's had some good success against the Angels. It's a cut fastball. He went with it the other way. And he reads that throw to the plate and then turns on the afterburner to get into scoring position himself. Now, 5 for 11 this season against the Angels.
Sorry, Gibby. Justin was not going to throw out Devers at the plate. And here's Mookie Betts. Second time up. We're in the second inning. Takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Bradley now with 19 runs batted in. Home run by Betts, his 20th of the year, 41st RBI, and he'll take that pitch in. 2-1. Pretty good poke out to right center field to the bullpen. 2 singles and a big error by Ian Kinsler. 2 runs in so far. First one issued by Lamb. So Betts is on board twice. 2 on. 1 out. Andrew Benintendi coming to the plate.
Six pitches now for John Lamb.
Benintendi a fly ball to right field in his first at bat. Cuts through the first one.
Benintendi just a 194 hitter this season versus left-handed pitching.
Benintendi, Red Sox first round pick 2015 now the University of Arkansas. So he's got to be pretty happy that his Razorbacks playing for the national championship in Omaha. Going up against Oregon State. Best of 3 series beginning tonight. One pitch. Plays off the breaking ball.
And you saw him the first time through, very aggressive against Lamb. Now a little more patient to try to get him in the strike zone.
You got J.D. Martinez looming on deck. One in the first, 2 in the second, 3-0 Boston. We're in the second inning still. Bradley with a 2 RBI single. Standing at second base. Betts over at first. Pickoff attempt and the throw caught somehow by Simmons.
I don't know how he caught that. Somehow reached behind Bradley Jr. to catch that throw. I have no idea how he caught that. Those hands are quick, but that was magical by Andrelton Simmons.
Well, Ozzie was the wizard. Simba's got to be the prestige.
Okay, I like that one.
This one's out the left. Upton moving back. He'll play this one off the monster. No, a short hop the wall. Bradley will score. Betts to third. Double by Benintendi. 4-0. I think Justin kind of gave up on that ball a little too soon, did he not? The ball one hopped the fence.
And he tried to get back there as quick as possible, especially in this scenario where you got a couple on base already. Going back and anticipating that baseball off the green monster, but it one hops the wall.
Benintendi picks up his 51st run batted in. Action in the Angels bullpen after Nagy made his first visit. Deck McGuire, first man up. Infield playing back. JD Martinez doubled in his first at bat. Good pitch up and in on him. Double by Benintendi, his 19th of the year.
I mean, this is an outstanding start for as far as RBI tie for the lead, as far as home runs, and fourth in batting average. The reason why he's so good as far as the batting average, because he hits the ball to all fields so well. Showed that earlier. 11 opposite field home runs, 30 opposite field hits.
Reaching for it, rolls it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yes, Dave O'Brien does that pregame show. Gooby, I'd like to ask you, have you ever seen a major league hitter get to the point where discarded by a team, put on waivers by the Houston Astros, talk about JD specifically, and turn his entire career around to be at such a high level?
Yeah. Not really. I haven't seen it. Justin Turner for the Dodgers, obviously, have been let go with Baltimore and the Mets, but I mean,
Good
nothing
call.
to this magnitude right here of JD Martinez. I mean, what he did last season for Arizona was off the charts, and then he's carried into this season again. And we remember him very well when he's with the Astros. I mean, he had pretty good coverage of the plate, but not to this extent. We're going to show a little bit later on the difference between his stride and his leg kick from today as compared to when he was with the Astros. It was a big, huge change for him, and it's worked out perfectly since moving over to the Tigers from the Astros.
Takes a called strike 3, does not like that call. And we'll definitely let Chris Siegel know about it. 2 outs.
And going on the same terms as far as Justin Turner, because of it swings the same way, I think you can pitch both of them, but it's got to be in and it's got to be up.
Intentional walk here to Xander Bogaerts. So they're loaded up now. Mitch Moreland, he'll be the 9th batter to come to the plate. Very good call on Justin Turner, by the way, because he did certainly turn things around. They got him from the Mets, though, right?
He was basically let go by the Mets.
By the Mets.
It's so you can't even remember the fact he was a Baltimore Oriole at one point too.
Jason Worth to a certain extent, right? A catcher in the Dodger system originally.
Yes.
Off the glove of Lamb, redirected to Simmons, and everyone is safe. If he just lets it go, Andrelton Simmons is there, and you get the 3rd out. Instead, it's 5-0. Now goes an infield base hit from Moreland, jumping on that first pitch.
Another hit with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs.
And of course, Simmons is playing.
He's playing right there. That's why you look back and see where your middle infielders are always situated.
John Lamb's night comes to an end, inning in 2/3. Tonight a pitching change. We are in the second with the bases loaded. Halos down 5-0. After an inning and 2/3, Deck McGuire takes over. World Cup action continues tomorrow on Fox and FS1, highlighted by Chicharito and Mexico taking on Sweden at 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox, or stream it all live on the Fox Sports app. Let me guess you're going for Sweden, right?
I'm not worried about that game. That's the second game.
Oh, the second game.
Second.
That's why you got all excited.
Yes.
All right. Bases loaded. Eduardo Nunez at the plate. 2 outs. Nunez swinging first pitch, pops it up on the infield. Maldonado is there to make the play, and there's the 3rd out. But 4 runs come across. Boston leads at 5-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Probably to the top of the 3rd. Young and Hermosillo coming up for the Angels here against David Price, who's faced 6, retired all 6. John Lamb, all he could do is look on. A tough one. Of the 4 runs that Boston scored in the second, 3 are earned because of the error by Ian Kinsler. That changes the entire inning, Gooby. If Ian gets that ball after the base hit by Nunez, it's double play ball, 2 outs, nobody on base, and you get the ground out. Second is in the books.
So used to Ian Kinsler and Hamilton Simmons turning so many double plays. They've been fantastic with that this season. That's where you kind of penciled in your book at that moment. Instead, 2 runners on.
David Fletcher pulls one down the left field line and goes foul into the seats. Now that said, you know, you're a big league pitcher for a long time. You got to pick up your field.
Exactly, especially when you think about how good of a fielder Ian Kinsler is. It has been his whole career, and how well he's played defense for the Angels. You want to go right back and pick him up as quick as possible.
David getting to start at third base, 7 for 19 in the big leagues. 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I just love the way Fletcher approaches each and every at bat and every pitch. He's confident. He's comfortable in the batter's box. He's facing a very good pitcher who's been very good for a long time in the majors. He's right on that dish, looking to make good contact.
Off the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike. Chris Young on deck. Hermosillo to follow. 2 strikeouts for Price. They both came in the second inning. Ground ball to short. Bogarts retires Fletcher. There's out number 1.
Arco, quality top-tier gas for less.
1 out, nobody on, and it's Chris Young at the plate. sitting 171, getting to start out in center field. 0 for 3 yesterday afternoon.
1 for 14 in his career versus Price for Chris Young, so he's due. Got that cutter out in front. Nice play.
Great smile as well. Two balls, one strike. We're back and take a look at that catch.
Kept that baseball in front, made the play.
Bodied up.
Yes.
Gooby, take notes.
Yes. Didn't go for the backhand. Just made sure right in front. Saw that we see that a lot in the majors, that backhand play.
That's out toward left field. Hit very well. If it's fair, it might be gone, and that is gone. A home run for Chris Young. The Angels get on the board. First hit allowed by Price. It is 5-1 Boston.
Said he was due, and he got that big hit. It's 1 for 14 coming in at bat for Chris Young. But it's worthy of a top-tier play. Brought to you by Arco. A curveball. Stayed back on it well and hooks it right over that green monster for his 6th home run, 12th RBI. One thing the Angels have done over the last 3-4 years here in this ballpark, they've scored some runs. Very important to keep trying to get back into this game here in this inning. Good start there with a home run by Chris Young.
Michael Hermosillo getting to start in right. 4 for 30 in the big leagues. 133 average. Has a couple of doubles. No balls, 2 strikes. Now back.
I know with 2 strikes on it, you take that approach away, but next time up for Hermosillo, I think you think in terms of a bunt down that third base line. Devers with 15 errors at third base this season. Make him make a play against you, especially when you're trying to get back into a game. You need some base runners.
One and 2. Top of the order, Kinsler on deck. Swing by Michael, fouling it back.
See him look down on the mound there for Price. He missed that fastball. He wanted that on the corner or off the corner in. That was right down the heart of the plate. Even though it's 94, he's picked up his velocity on his fastball a little bit more so this season. Fastball average about 91, 96.
Down and looking. 2 down. Outside part of the plate.
Backdoor cutter. Hitter, you almost give up on this pitch because you think it's a ball, and then he brings that cutter back and gets the call.
You give up on it because you think it's a ball because it is a ball.
Yeah.
You couldn't hit that with a fungo.
Even Frank Howard back in the day couldn't be able to cover that part of the plate.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Ian, who popped out to Nunez, leading off the game. 5-1 Boston. Solo home run by Chris Young, his 6th of the year to get the Angels on the board.
You think you're going to get a fastball here, 2-0, but that's where he throws a cutter in on you.
Ground ball left side. That'll sneak through for a base hit. So man on for Trout with 2 outs here in the 3rd.
All of a sudden, one swing of the bat from Trout, and you're right back in the game. A couple hits in this inning. Trout is 4 for 24 in his career versus Price. No home runs. Again, he's never homered in this ballpark either. But very good career numbers, batting average wise here.
Trout, a fly ball to center field in his first at bat, takes a strike.
That was well off the plate. Trout's not liking that call. Back in with a fastball. See that 95 on that one for Price. He's back and healthy right now for Boston. This fastball, that one right there at 95. He's also thrown 78-mile-an-hour curveball, so pretty good differential. That was Trout's pitch. See the frustration there for Trout. Keep in mind that index finger on his throwing hand, that's that top hand on the bat. And they pitched him up, they pitched him in. Back in again.
1-2. Somehow avoids getting hit.
So well off that inside part of the plate. Back in again with a cutter.
Full count. Kinsler will be off of the pitch now. 2 outs. Upton on deck. 5-1 Boston, a long 3rd for David Price. Broke the home run to Young, struck out Hermosillo, gave it the single to Kinsler. 3-2. Trout grounds this one through the left side, a base hit. Kinsler will turn and head to 3rd. Benintendi's throw goes to second base. 1st and 3rd, 2 outs for Justin.
3 hits in this inning against Price have all been against guys that Price has pitched very well against. Let's take a look at our pitch-by-pitch sequence by Price against Trout. He got a called first pitch strike that was a little bit off the plate, back inside at 95, so 1-1 count. Back inside, tried to over the middle of the plate, fouled it straight back, off the plate in, 2-2 count. Then another fastball, this time up. And then the last pitch, another fastball in. Didn't get quite in as far enough. It gets it through the infield for a single for Trout. So all pitches either middle in or off the plate in.
Upton lifted a fly ball to right field in his first inning at bat. Takes a fastball right down the pipe for a strike. So look at the defense. He is maybe shading toward the middle a little bit. Big hole on the right side. In the dirt. Nice block by Vasquez. Travel takes second, but it prevents a run.
Yeah, I don't know how he was able to block that one too. And again, you got another man in scoring position with Trout being able to advance. That was right on the plate. Kept it in front, prevent Kinsler from scoring. And a base hit here. All of a sudden, it's a 5-3 game.
Two on, 3-1, way upstairs. Another nice play by Vasquez.
He's been tested in this inning. All of a sudden, the command going away from Price. Chance to get right back in the game before he settles back in.
Draws the walk, and they're loaded up for Albert. First walk issued by Price.
Quick conversation now, especially with Albert Pujols. Albert with very good career numbers as far as with the bases loaded, and good numbers against Price, including a couple of home runs. .321 career batting average with the bases loaded, 14 career grand slams for Pujols.
Albert struck out leading off the second.
A lot of traffic on the bases here for the Angels. A chance to get right back in this game, potentially tie it.
Bottom part of the zone, and I mean the bottom part, and Albert's not happy about it. 0-1 count.
If you look at baseball that Albert has hit very well this season, it's been the low pitch.
One ball, one strike.
A lot of times you'll see Albert do that. He'll try to set up a pitcher, and he came right back with that low pitch again, and he was ready for that one, just a little bit too low to not attack it.
Kinsler at third, Trout at second, Upton at first. 5-1. Boston leads it. We're in the third. 2 outs. There's 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Certainly a lot different guy after the home run to Chris Young in this third inning that we saw through the first 6 batters, 7 batters for that matter. No hesitation, throwing a lot of strikes. Gotten away from his game plan, and so has his command. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Down at the plate. 2-2.
.33 pitches in this inning so far. Mine on a 2-2 count. He throws a lot of cut fastballs against right-handed batters for David Price. We didn't talk about go-tos today. Catch one of those cutters out in front.
Two-two. Albert pulls this one to third. Devers bobbles it for a second. Plenty of time to throw across the diamond, and the Angels will leave them loaded. They do get on the board on the Chris Young home run. It's 5-1 Boston as we hit the bottom of the third. California Cadillac dealers. By Carl's Jr., the tempting El Diablo Thick Burger has returned to Carl's Jr. Pick it up before it's gone. And by Tough Turtle Turf, a full landscape design company. Halos now 5-1 here, the bottom of the third inning. Deck McGuire came in and threw one pitch to finish off that second inning. 10 batters came to the plate for the Boston Red Sox. It'll be Devers, Vasquez, and Bradley in the Red Sox half of the third. Devers reached out in the air by Kinsler. The sky went out to right. Hermosillo is there. One down.
Very important to put up a zero when you think about it. In this ballpark, you can get right back in the game quickly. Had a chance to tie it up with Pujols at the plate. No lead ever feels comfortable in this ballpark. Fastball from McGuire. He's 91-96. Slider, curve, and changeup.
Foul. Out of play. Vasquez, a ground ball to short, his first at bat. Back and off the body of McGuire. Simba has it. Two down.
Back out it pretty square. I would imagine Mike Scioscia, Eric Munson, Adam Nebula going to come out and check him. That got him pretty square. Calf area, yeah. With a foot. He got in the calf, and that's one thing you'll see as the game progresses, especially if it deflected off the foot and the calf, it'll get tight as the game progresses. That got him pretty square.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and Jackie Bradley Jr. at the plate. He singled home 2 runs and scored in the second inning. 19 RBIs on the season.
Part of the strike zone, and Maldonado wanted that pitch, didn't get called.
2 balls, no strikes. Halo is picking up McGuire via purchase from the Texas Rangers. Had been with the Blue Jays. Rangers picked him up off waivers on June 15th. Put him back on waivers as they made a roster move. The Angels purchased him. That's why he's in the big leagues. First round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays back in 2010. 3 balls, 1 strike. 6 games with the Red Sox, or pardon me, with the Reds last year. This is the 6th game in the big leagues this year. 4 with Toronto, 2 with the Angels. This was lifted out to left. Upton's got to go back. And this one is off the top of the wall and gone. A home run for Jackie Bradley Jr. And it is 6-1.
And now 6 for 12 with 2 home runs this season for Jackie Bradley Jr. against the Angels. It's both hits going the other way this evening, off the top of the wall and out here at Fenway Park.
Mookie Betts takes low. Matches a season high as far as RBIs for Bradley. Also had 3 back on April the 20th at Oakland. 1-1. Two-out count. Bradley, by the way, a couple of days ago, had the day off yesterday, but 2 days ago against Seattle, had a 3-for-3 game. Now 2-for-2 tonight. So taking a little pressure off of him, putting him in the number 9 spot.
13 home runs for the Red Sox against the Angels this season. It's another pretty good pitch, upper part of the strike zone.
That's all over the strike zone.
Yep.
3-1. That's with a home run in the first, a walk in the second. He has scored twice. Two-out walk.
Martin Maldonado has let Chris Siegel know one of those pitches, or both of them, could have easily been called a strike.
Benintendi 1 for 2, a double with an RBI in his last plate appearance.
That's with 14 stolen basemen, caught twice. Maldonado has thrown out 50% of base stealers this season.
The Red Sox will run second in the American League with 58 total bases stolen. 6-1 Sox. We're the third.
A little bit bigger lead for Betts.
Off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. He pulls one right to Pujols for the 3rd out. Boston gets a run, and it is 6-1 as we head to the 4th. Simmons, Maldonado, and Fletcher coming up against David Price. But a very long 3rd inning. Halos managing just 1 run. That was the Chris Young solo shot over the monster. Actually left them loaded. Simmons, a fly ball to right field to 2nd for 1.
Trying to place that fastball in the outside corner, ended up being right in the heart of the plate. Step out of the batter's box for Hamilton Simmons. That was a pretty good pitch. Drive.
Missed inside. Two one. Down and in. 3 balls and a strike. Maldonado on deck. Then Fletcher. 57 total pitches for Price, 33 for strikes. Pitching with a 5-run lead here in the 4th.
Part of the strike sign called. Now it's time for the key drive to success. Speaking of 2 strikes on a batter, tops in baseball entering tonight. Andleton Simmons, 349 batting average with 2 strikes. Mookie Betts, 319. Gene Segura is having an outstanding season for Seattle, 293 with 2 strikes. That's using the entire field when you have 2 strikes on you.
Ground ball to short. Leadoff man retired, brings up Maldonado. Speaking of Gene Segura, Seattle Mariners down at Camden Yards, game 2 of their series, 1-1 tonight. Top of the 6th inning. Tigers leading Oakland 6-0. That game is at the top of the 4th. Houston and Toronto just underway. They're in the second scoreless at Minute Maid. Randall Grichuk had a heck of a game last night for Toronto. Maldonado breaks his bat. Devers cuts across. 2 down.
That was an outstanding play by Grichuk last night.
Rob Springer, right?
Yep. Well, he's been used to doing that to other people in that ballpark. It's only fair.
That's right. Two outs, nobody on, and Fletcher at the plate. He led off the 3rd with a ground down to short. Do you like the whole pitcher working from the stretch thing?
No.
Does it matter?
No,
you?
I know you teach that a lot for younger pitchers, even at little league level and in earlier levels in high school baseball, because you can be more consistent in the strike zone. But I've always believed, even talking to Jim Codd, who's he's here at the ballpark today, bringing your hands over your head and generating that drive towards the plate, you can get a little bit more on your fastball, and I think better deception. Out of the stretch, you can see the baseball out of your hand a little bit longer, in my opinion. Full windup, and you bring it over the top, and then you get it behind your back. I mean, he's got good balance, but it doesn't seem like you can drive as much as you want to be able to do as compared to going in a full windup. It's more to be more consistent in the strike zone, pitching at a stretch.
4-pitch walk with 2 outs here in the 4th. It seems as he's gotten older, and I'm talking about David Price, he's not as much of a recoiler as he was when he first came up to big leagues with the Rays.
But he challenged hitters a lot with his fastball. He's more so now throws a lot more cut fastballs and changeups. 36 strikes of his 64 pitches thrown.
Chris Young got a hanging breaking ball, deposited it over the green monster and left. 6th home run of the season, 12th RBI. Getting to start out in center field once again.
And you notice a lot of times when there's a bases loaded, you see pitchers would go to their full windup. Reason why? Because you get a little bit more on the fastball, a little better deception as compared to when you're in that stretch position. So that's why it's odd you see a lot more pitchers starting in a stretch position instead of a full windup. Back to that 3rd inning. And that breaking ball out over the plate. Hits it over the green monster. Now 2 for 15 in his career against Price. First career home run against him.
Tied him up. Doug spent some time here with the Red Sox. 76 games 2 seasons ago, 90 games last year. 235 for Boston last season.
Just found that baseball off his leg.
Takes a fastball for a called strike 3. The Angels are done here in the 4th. 6-1 Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the inning.
Look at JD Martinez back when he was a Houston Astros, a toe tap and then threw the baseball, catching the baseball out in front. But this season, higher leg kick, and he's letting the baseball travel more so in the strike zone to be able to drive the ball the other way. Talked about those 30-plus hits the other way, 11 home runs the opposite field because he's allowing that baseball to travel, all set up by that timing mechanism of the leg kick as compared to the toe tap when he was with the Houston Astros. It's amazing when you think about it. Released by the Astros back on March 2014, 151 home runs since then.
Hits this one to short. Simmons is there. One down. Forgot to mention that David Ortiz kind of fits into that conversation that we were talking about. Guys let go.
But I think part of it was Ortiz had a wrist issue when he was with the Minnesota Twins and he got healthy. And boy, you talk about one of the most dangerous hitters, and especially in those big moments. David Ortiz, clutch as clutch could be as far as big hits for the Red Sox throughout his career in those moments where they needed him most.
The artist formerly known as David Arias.
Yes. We manage it in the futures game with Torrey Hunter.
Bogart's a fly ball to right and an intentional walk. So he's 0 for 1.
Ortiz, 455 batting average career-wise in the World Series. That's covering 14 games. Hence 3 World Championships, 04, 07, and 2013.
Bogarts pops it up. Shallow center field. Chris Young coming in. Two down. Mitch Moreland coming to the plate. Pretty nice night. Mild temperatures here. Getting us ready for the scorcher that is Baltimore over the weekend.
Oh, yes. Never any humidity there either.
No. Although we might, depends on, still late June. Usually there in July, August. That's when the humidity usually kicks in.
June also.
You think so?
Yeah, oh, yes.
I guess our definitions of humidity differ. Moreland, a strikeout and an RBI single. Bouncer to first. Albert backs up. McGuire covering, and there's the first 1-2-3 inning for the Angels. 4 complete. 6-1. Boston leads it. The MLB All-Star Game, July 17th, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
We'll talk about that a little bit on the pregame show today. That American League lineup looks incredible. There's not even close to an easy out in that lineup there. If you're a National League pitcher, you make the All-Star Game, you're hoping you're pitching Sunday so you don't have to pitch against that lineup.
Agreed. David Price back to work. We'll see him trying to bunt his way on.
Yeah, we were just talking about that first about it. It's a good decision. Especially when you need base runners now. He's got good speed, gets down that line very fast. Devers with 15 errors at third. Moreland playing back at first.
Hermosillo struck out looking into third. Takes a called strike 3. 1 away. 5th strikeout of the night for Price.
It's 3 looking too for Price. The pitch before was well off the outside corner, called a strike, and then he paints the corner inside. They call 3rd strike.
Top of the order now, Ian Kinsler. Ian had a base hit in the 3rd, eventually stranded at 3rd base. 1 for 2 night.
Look back for Kinsler. That was off the plate inside. Cutter. Vasquez is getting a lot of those calls. He's set up off the inside corner, not moving the glove at all, but it's clearly not in the strike zone, but getting the calls.
If you're waiting for the catcher to catch the baseball as an umpire to make your call on a strike or ball, aren't you waiting way too long?
Yeah, because
who cares what the catcher's doing?
It's the front of the plate.
Correct.
There was 2 pitches in this sequence already that had not been in the strike zone. Both called strikes. Kids are really not happy about it.
Reaching forward, punches it out to right field. He's got himself a 2-hit game. So Trout will come to the plate with a man on. That's why I don't put a whole lot of stock in the whole catch framing discussion behind the plate. There's guys that are better presenters than others, but as far as getting strikes, there's too many variables involved. Who's on the mound? Who's calling the balls and strikes?
Yeah, if you're going to get those calls, you've got to be a catching out front. That's why you saw for a little bit of time a lot of catcher's interference, because the glove out in front trying to get that baseball towards the front of the plate.
Pitch Trout inside. It's way inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, can you imagine if one of those times with that cutter from Price, Trout ever got the barrel of the bat on that baseball? He stayed inside a lot so far against them tonight.
1 for 2 with the single tonight. Breaks his bat, rolls one over to Devers at third base. He'll go to second. They force out Kinsley.
And to Bryce's credit, he stays in with that cutter and jammed Trout again.
2 down.
Part of the bat flew off that bat after a cutter in. Splintered that bat on that cutter. I think the approach for the most part for Price against Trout is, if I'm going to miss at all, it's going to be well off the plate. It's going to be very difficult for him to get the barrel of the bat against him.
It's been the approach against Trout since the news came out that he's got a sore right index finger. Rightfully so. You take all the information that's given to you, you try to make the most of it, you exploit it. And I think because of it, Gooby, you're starting to see Trout swing at some pitches that he normally wouldn't swing at. Trying to do a little too much.
Yeah, he's almost like he's trying to get that baseball out a little bit further than normal, because he's very good. We talked about that with JD Martinez, letting the baseball get deeper in the strike zone. During this little stretch, he hasn't. He's gotten some hits, but he hasn't allowed that baseball to travel in a little bit deeper than normal.
Two balls, no strikes on Upton. 0 for 1, a fly ball to right and a walk. 2 walks issued by Price to go with the 5 strikeouts.
Boy, did he have a pitch to hit there. It looked like Vasquez originally wanted a fastball in again. Price shook it off, wanted a fastball away, and then this one ran right in the heart of the plate, and he just missed it. Going back inside.
Taking a couple of those pitches tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Takes a called strike 3. That one catches the corner. Angels are done here in the 5th. Still 6-1 Boston. Hey, join us on Tuesday, July the 10th. Angels taking on the Seattle Mariners. It's a 7:07 start. Fans in attendance will receive the awesome Trout shirt courtesy of your SoCal Honda dealers while supplies last. For more information, go to angels.com. 6-1 Boston. Opening game of a 3-game set here at Fenway Park. Bottom of the 5th. Nunez, Devers, and Vasquez coming up. Deck McGuire took over with 2 outs in the 2nd. So he's gone 2 1/3 thus far. He's allowed 1 run, the home run to Bradley in the 3rd inning. Coming off a 1-2-3 frame. 2 ground outs and a fly ball out. Nunez takes ball 1. He's 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the 2nd. Popped out to Maldonado in front of the mound. That was the first batter that McGuire faced. This one's fouled back.
That pitch was a solid pitch right there from McGuire.
Two now. Called strike 3. Down goes Nunez. He can get in the long line of players complaining about the strike zone tonight. 1 down.
This slider off the outside part of the plate. Called a strike on that one. The 2 pitches before that was a fastball in the middle of the plate. Was called a ball.
Devers hits one out to right center field. Long way for Hermosillo and Young. Michaels there tracks it down.
It's a great
number
angle
2.
Hermosillo took to run that one down. That's a long way to go.
Great angle and got there in a hurry.
He's got great speed. See where he's got to go and how far he went to track this one down. It's a really good play by Hermosillo. Like in that play made out in right center field, almost center field, Hermosillo.
Out toward deep left field, and it's another home run for the Boston Red Sox. This time it's Christian Vasquez, his 3rd of the season, and it's 7-1 Boston.
Boston up 7-1, 6-1, and then that swing by Vasquez lines it over the Green Monster for his 3rd home run of the season. And Boston, think about what they have done. Take a look at our Mercedes-Benz league leaders as far as the home run ranks. The Angels are 4th, Red Sox 3rd. Last year, the Red Sox were 27th in baseball as far as home runs. Angels 24th, both major improvements in those categories.
Ground ball into the shift. Kinsler's got it from the outfield grass. And Bradley retired for the first time, but a 2-out home run extends the Red Sox lead as we head to the 6th inning. Angels down 7-1.
by your Southern California Toyota dealers. And by McDonald's. Download and register on the McDonald's app today for great deals.
Halos down 7-1 as we begin the 6th here at Fenway Park. 4 hits allowed by David Price. He's also struck out 6, walked 2. The only run he's allowed on the Chris Young solo home run in the 3rd. Beautiful shot of that, assuming a full moon tonight. Pujols, Simmons, Maldonado for the Angels here in the 6th. Albert grounded out with the bases loaded in that 3rd inning. Not quite a full moon. We'll have a full moon on Thursday night, Gooby. This is a waxing gibbous. 97%.
97%.
Pulls it down the left field line. Foul.
It's pretty close.
I see the 3%.
Yeah.
I see it. Wax on, wax
Wax
off.
on. Yes.
Waxing gibbous. Albert goes down looking.
Wow.
That pitch is way off the plate.
Yeah, that's off the corner again. Another one of those cut fastballs. It's called a strike. Albert not real happy about that one.
Look, the Angels offense is struggling, but the strike zone tonight is just awful.
I mean, look where that's at. That starts way off the plate and stays off the plate.
That's in the left-handed batter's
Yes.
box.
That's the 5th strikeout called tonight against the Angels.
Simmons 0 for 2. That's more of a strike than
Yes.
anything Pujols saw. Fly ball to right and a ground out. Angel did tonight.
And 5 strikeouts looking of the 7 tonight.
Good rip by Simba, fouls it back. Two-one count. Evens up the count. In Detroit, Chad Pinter's homered. Hayes down by 2 now. It's 7-5 Tigers.
7-5. It was 6-0, then 6-3, then 7-3. Now they have come back in a ton of games.
Base hit the left for Andrelton.
And another base hit with 2 strikes for Andrelton Simmons.
Stay tuned during the 7th inning stretch for the Nissan Game Break with Jose Mota. Martin Maldonado 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. Oh, 1 count. Base hit by Simmons, the 5th hit for the Angels tonight. Jed Lowry's just homered at 7-6 now. Don't sleep on the Oakland Athletics.
No, not at all. They come back in games often. They were right behind the Angels as far as home runs. There were 106 coming into the game.
Big lead for Simmons over at first. 2-0. Pitch him inside now.
Cutter upper part of the strike zone missed. 94 pitches for Price. Some movement now. And towards the bullpen. Generally, you're going to see that with Price as he gets closer to that 100 pitch mark.
Full count. Longest outing of the year, 9 innings against Baltimore. Back on May 17th. About a 6 or 7 inning guy just based on average.
Talked about in the opening how well he has thrown in his last 8 starts, 6-1. Hit rate is a little over 2.8.
Pop up Moreland, good first baseman into foul territory, 2 down. The pitch, it may have been ball 4. And up steps Fletcher. David starting third baseman tonight. He's grounded out and walked. Just missed in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boston with a run in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth. The only run for the Angels in the third. Chris Young home run.
3 more home runs for Boston in this game against the Angels.
Out toward left. Benintendi's got to come in on it. Halos are down here in the 6th inning. 7-1 Red Sox when we return. Another edition of Could Be Tuesday.
doing Spanish radio. So yes, 2002 will never ever get matched.
All right, man, appreciate it. See right there. Travels well here, even to Fenway Park. Means a W. Got to have a comeback right now.
Have to. Halos down 7-1 here at the bottom of the sixth inning.
Smile on his face. Yes, the thumbs up. Good call there by Jose on that one too, to be part of that one. That magic of 2002. Jose right there.
Chicos.
Yes.
Hey. Gooby Tuesday. I saw the sign, by the way.
Yes.
Nice job.
Way to go, Jose.
Hey, Gooby, what a packet for them. Nice job there, man.
Yeah.
Like that?
It was folded nicely. I saw it.
Yes.
That's what he was working last night on the plane. He had the magic markers out and everything.
Speaking of comebacks in that World Series, need a comeback here tonight, Jose.
Nice change of subject there. Good.
Yes.
Nice try anyway.
Yes.
7-1 Boston here at the bottom of the sixth. Betts, Benintendi, JD Martinez, McGuire's back out. 3 1/3 so far of relief. 2 hits, both home runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. 39 pitches for Deck. Incredible baseball name, by the way. Deck McGuire. Or a Carpenter, whatever. Specializing in outdoor stuff.
Yes.
2-2. Out toward left field. Upton has to go back on it and almost goes over his head. 1 down.
Finally able to retire. He bets he still had that baseball pretty firm. Liner to left. Up and going back. Reaches up. Catch it right in front of that out-of-town scoreboard. There's that long warning track here at Fenway Park. Dirt before you get to that wall. It's a great view. I mean, every part of this ballpark, you get a great view of this. This is the history of this yard. Monster looking through it, then looking back up towards the press box here. View from left field.
Want to do the game from there tomorrow?
Yeah. As long as you don't hear that sound a whole lot off that green monster.
1-2 count on Benintendi.
Well, former Angel from Maritz, like Mo Vaughn used to wear out that green monster the other way.
Bouncer up the middle. Kinsler to his right. 2 down. Bring up JD Martinez.
Wade Boggs used to wear out that green monster also.
Is he in your book?
Yeah.
He took you deep?
Yeah.
Wade Boggs took you deep? Gobi.
Kansas City.
Kansas City?
Kansas City
Down the
yesterday.
line?
Yeah, I was part of a, I gave up a couple home runs in that first inning. Don Baylor got me too.
That's.
Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a few of those dents. Courtesy of my fastball and hanging slider.
No autographs up there?
Yes.
So Wade got you once?
Yeah, once.
That's it?
He had some pretty good numbers against me though.
Yeah.
Marty Barrett was one of my favorite ones here in this ballpark.
Marty got you?
Yeah.
Martinez driving one out to deep right field, and it is gone into the bullpen. 3rd home run allowed by Deck McGuire. 8-1 Boston.
And another opposite field home run for JD Martinez. Now 12. Season 24 home runs. And going back to what you talked about earlier, we talked about Mookie Betts and Mike Trout as far as the MVP conversation. JD Martinez right in that conversation. When you think about RBI total, home runs, and even batting average. Nice play out in the bullpen also.
Just 3 hits allowed in those 3+ innings, but unfortunately the 3 have counted for 3 runs. And all 3 of them, Gooby, after retiring the first 2 batters of an inning. The 3rd, the 5th, now here the 6th. 0-1. 0-2. So okay, he's trying to go the other way with that swing.
Top 5 hitters in this lineup for Boston tonight, all double figures as far as home runs.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Trying to get that 3rd out here in the 6th. Breaking ball misses, full count.
Good battle here between McGuire and Bogarts.
Full count with 2 outs. Pitch Moreland on deck. Out the left, and that is a fair ball off the monster. Bogarts in at second with a 2-out double.
21st double of the season. Always talk about the more pitches you see, at some point you're going to get a pitch to hit. Bogarts got it, and he lines it into the corner. A backup breaking ball. Hooks it. 21st double of the season.
Angels had Akil Morris loosening in the bullpen. That's going to be it for Deck McGuire. So Morris replaces McGuire. Angels trailing 8-1. We're at the bottom of the 6th with 2 out. to receive a one-of-a-kind Shohei Ohtani double bobblehead, courtesy of Lawson Ticket while supplies last. For more information, just go to angels.com. Gil Morris takes over on the mound with 2 outs and a man at second. This pitching change brought to you by Purple Bricks. Halos down 8-1 as Mitch Moreland stepped up to the plate with Bogart standing at second.
Justin Upton out in left field. Change up there from Mars. Camera be able to see that, and all those, still see all those dents on that wall.
Three balls, 1 strike on Moreland, who is 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the second. Bottom part of the zone, full count. Eduardo Nunez on deck. Good lead for Bogarts at second. 3-2. Moreland grounds this one to Simmons. Third out recorded. We're off to the 7th inning. Angels trailing at 8-1. Was shot inside the Green Monster here at Fenway Park. Are represented on this year's squad by voting at angels.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game in the nation's capital. It's presented by MasterCard on July 17th, live on Fox. Mookie Betts will certainly be there, as will Mike Trout, JD Martinez. We'll see how the rest of that all shakes out. New pitcher on. It's Heath Embry taking over. David Price, who ended up going 6 innings, 4 hits, including the home run, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 run allowed.
Every fastball's 92, 98. He'll throw a curveball and a slider.
Fouled back. Hembry with the 3-1 mark at 3.86 ERA, 33rd appearance.
Time I look at him, I think of John Lackey when you see him.
I can see that. A little Derek Lowe as well. Very Lackey-ish. Pitching inside.
Yes.
Giants 5th round pick in 2010. Hembry 29. Young takes off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chris with a home run in the 3rd inning, struck out looking in the 4th. Hembry came over back in July of 2014. That was part of the Jake Peavy trade. 2-2.
Young is wondering where that pitch was.
One away. Brings up Michael Hermosillo, just right fielder. A couple of strikeouts, both looking.
See him in a real nice play out in right center field defenseman, looking to pick up a hit here. High fastball called. Twice he's been called out looking for a strike. Now behind in the count here, 0-2 again.
One ball, 2 strikes. Seattle's jumped ahead of Baltimore 3-2 in that game. 5 of the 8th. Oakland still trailing Detroit 7-6 at the top of the 6th. Astros and Blue Jays still scoreless. This one's fouled back. Here it is 8-1 Boston. 10 hits tonight for the Red Sox.
And the long ball continues to be the issue for the Angels against the Red Sox. Remember, you go back to that 3-game series, they gave up 11 home runs against the Red Sox. That's the most ever in a 3-game series, the Angels versus an opponent.
Giving up 4 tonight. Popped up. Nunez calling for it. 2 down. Kinsler will bat with nobody on base. Multi-hit game for Ian. 2 singles and a pop-up. Nobody warming for the Angels, so Morris come back out for the bottom of the 7th. John Lamb got the start, won an inning and 2/3, allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 6 hits, including a home run to Betts. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 was intentional. Two balls, 1 strike on the end with 2 outs here at the 7th. Nobody on. 2-2.
A couple hits tonight by Kinzer when you come into this. Think about coming into this series against the Red Sox. 283 career hitter against the Red Sox for Kinzer. Solid numbers, including 16 home runs.
Trout's on deck. Kinsler strikes out, swinging the Angels down in order stretch time here in Boston. It's an 8-1 Red Sox lead. Time now for the Nissan game break with Jose Mota.
Well, in case you're wondering how the Red Sox are, let's see. First in hits coming into today in the big league, second in slugging, also in the majors. Well, how about the hitting clinic they're putting on here? Tim Hires, their new hitting coach, has done a fabulous job just implementing with the guys opposite field approach, and we can see it today on display here in our Nissan game break. So John Lamb is a spot. How about setting the tone immediately? 1, Mookie Betts first pitch, he goes deep, and Benintendi going the other way. Just a sweet swing, just allowing the ball to get deeper and staying behind the baseball. And struggling, Jackie Bradley Jr. using that wall to his advantage, staying close and doing a fine job, and following also on the instructions from one J.D. Martinez. So for the Angels so far, offensively again, very quiet, but good to see, guys. Mike Trout get on top of a fastball. Well, this has been your Nissan game break. Before we go back to the booth, here's a message from Nissan.
Zero with Toronto and Houston. Baltimore now trailing Seattle 3-2. Coming back in this game, Oakland, though, they're still trailing Detroit 7-6. New York all over Philadelphia 6-0. Arizona leading Miami 4-2. And tied up at 3 in the 8th inning between the Mets and the Pirates in New York. Severino, by the way, dealing again for the New York Yankees.
He'll be in the All-Star game, should be anyway. Gilmore's back out on the bump. A couple of defensive changes for the Angels. Swing and a miss on the very first pitch. Luis Valbuena comes in and plays third base, moving David Fletcher over to short. So Simmons out of the game. One ball, 1 strike. Cole Calhoun takes over in right field. Hermosillo moves from right to left, so Justin Upton out of the game. Upton and Simmons placed in the lineup. Play here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2. Blake Swihart pinch hitting here. Eduardo Nunez. Nunez goes 1 for 3. Switch hitter hitting 149. This is 35th game. 0 for 9 as a pinch hitter. 2-2. Full count. Nowhere near the strike zone. When Blake Swihart came up, there was a lot of talk about him being the catcher of the future. Good arm, good defense. Switch hitter, has some power.
Requested to be traded at this moment, not getting much playing time at all.
Pretty good ink. This is line to right center field, a base hit. Cole over to cut it off. He'll do so. Lead off single for Swihart.
Old school, no batting gloves.
Devers, the third baseman, 0 for 3. Takes ball 1. Two and 0. Deck McGuire ended up going 4 innings tonight, 3 runs, all earned. 4 hits, 3 home runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk.
Two changeups, challenging with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, got it by Devers.
Devers fouls it back. Got him on the off-speed pitch. 1 down.
Good change up there from Morris. Now it's time for the Verizon probables for tomorrow night's game. Andrew Heaney on the mound for the Angels tomorrow. He's throwing the ball very, very well this season. 4-5, 3.43 ERA going against Rick Porcello. 9-3, 3.44, 7-7 in his career versus the Angels, with an ERA 5.51 for Porcello against the Angels.
Vasquez, the catcher, homered his last time up, 1 for 3. Out toward left. Hermosillo back near the monster, and that is off the monster. Ricochets back toward the field, and it'll go as a double for Vasquez. Swihart had to wait up. That's why he ends up at third base.
See him going back to the wall. That's one of those things where you don't have a lot of experience in this ballpark. It's going to be high off the wall. They just turn around and play that carom off the wall.
Base hit to center field. It'll bring home Swihart. Vasquez is going to be stopped at third, and it is 9-1 Boston. Jackie Bradley Jr. with a 4 RBI game.
Mookie Betts coming to the plate. It's what he did in his first at-bat. And what we've seen over the years, worthy of a Carlos Cam replay. That's Torrey Hunter going over the wall. David Ortiz in the postseason right there for the Tigers versus the Red Sox. Cole Calhoun up and over that wall to make an outstanding play in right center field. Saw that a couple of seasons ago back in 2014. And Michael Hermosillo trying to catch that baseball hit by Mookie Betts, flips over the wall, results in a home run by Betts this evening.
That's a home run, 2 walks and a fly ball to left is 1 for 2.
Well, Jackie Bradley Jr. has had a tough time swinging the bat, but this season against the Angels, though, he's really hit the ball well. 3 hits tonight, including a home run. 7 for 14.
Pops this one out to shallow left center field. Fletcher going out, calling for it. Hermosillo comes on, calls him off, makes the catch. 2 down.
Hermosillo going a long way to be able to track that one down. The communication is always easier coming in on the baseball. Fletcher going back, called him off last moment, able to make that play, no RBI for Betts.
Zue Lin pitch hitting for Andrew Benintendi. .167 average in 15 games this year. The first one's downstairs. He hasn't been on all hitters, but it's been pretty close to being behind on every hitter this inning. Talking about Akil Morris. 2 balls, no strikes. That takes a strike. Two. Two now. Slices it foul. Vasquez standing at third base. Bradley over at first. Albert, of course, not holding him on. 9-1 game here in the 7th. Got him with the off-speed pitch. And that'll do it for the Sox. They do add a run. We'll head to the 8th. It's a 9-1 Boston lead.
Now let's take a look. We Make It Easy, brought to you by SoCal Toyota. Police officer in the bullpen Here, he was back at that day when Torrey Hunter flipped over the wall, and a home run by Ortiz. And here again tonight, Steve Horgan back in the bullpen, the same pose as Michael Hermosillo goes over the wall. There it is, the bobblehead, the hands raised for Steve Horgan. Police officer's been down in the bullpen there for quite a while for the Red Sox, and he's retiring this season, after this season.
He gone. Immortalized in a bobblehead.
Bobblehead, yes. The arms raised.
Brandon Workman takes over on the mound here.
It's pretty amazing, though, when you think about it. Did the same exact pose tonight as he did with that one for Torrey Hunter going over the wall and that big home run for David Ortiz.
Trout, Calhoun, and Pujols for the Angels here against Workman. Trout tonight 1 for 3, had a single in the 3rd inning.
Workman's fastball is 88-95 with a cut fastball and a curveball.
Ninth appearance with Boston this year. Year-old Texas native. Trout to foul it back. 1-2. He pitched in 33 games last year for Boston. One-two.
Looked straight back for Trout earlier in the game, was called a pitch. It was a little bit above the strike zone. That could have been called a strike there.
Two-two. Trout fouls it back. A couple of changes for Boston with Swihart staying the game out in left field. Lynn takes over at second. And then Mitch Moreland, the first baseman, is no longer in the game. Brock Holt is the new first baseman. Yano with a high fastball. Pull down.
See that pattern of high fastball after high fastball. It's Mike Trout. 1 for 4 game for Trout.
Calhoun hitting 164, 2 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. First plate appearance, took over defensively out right. 7th inning.
Good angle you can see with those hands out over the plate now for Cole.
Pujols on deck. All Boston tonight, 9-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Workman's 2-2 pitch. Full count. Here's 3-2. Cole hits one out toward right center field. Jackie Bradley Jr. got a good jump on it. 2 down.
Yeah, we highlighted him on the defense, how well he goes back on the baseball. That's pretty good coverage. That ball was hit very hard by Calhoun.
Take a look at the Honda upcoming schedule for the Angels. 2 more here against the Red Sox, both night games, and it's off to Baltimore for a 3-game weekend series. Cross-country flight to Seattle, off day on Monday, then 3 July 3rd, 4th, and 5th before returning home. Take on the Dodgers, Seattle, and then the Dodgers right before the All-Star break. Only real scoring opportunity the Angels have had tonight was against David Price in that 3rd inning. And Albert, after Upton drew a 2-out walk, had a bases loaded situation with 2 down, eventually grounded out. And that was been it. It's the only time tonight the Angels have had a man in scoring positions. This one's out toward the triangle. Bradley again with that stride, covers it. And the Angels are down in order here in the 8th. 9-1 Boston as we hit at the bottom of the frame. Boston leads here in the bottom of the 8th inning. I want to remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Gil Morris back out for the bottom of the 8th inning. The only change for the Angels occurs at first base. Albert Pujols no longer in the game, and it's Jose Briseño replacing him defensively. J.D. Martinez leading things off. Bogarts and then Holt. Martinez skying one out towards center field. Long run for Chris Young toward the triangle area. He'll make the catch in front of the 420 sign for the first down. 2-for-5 game for J.D.
Yeah, double and a home run in the game and hit that one in front of that 420 sign.
Xander Bogaerts, a 1-for-3 game. Picked up a double his last at bat. That was Deck McGuire's last batter. John Lamba got the start tonight, lasted an inning and 2/3. McGuire went 4, and Morris cleaning it up here at the back end. 1-1. Justin Haley will pitch the ninth.
Changeup's been effective. More than likely, he'll throw another 2-2 changeup here.
Oakland, by the way, has tied things up in the 7th inning, 7-7 against the Tigers.
Amazing when you think of it. They would trail that game at 1.6-0.
Haven't updated it on the monster yet. Three, 2, and a walk. Brock Holt coming to the plate. This will be his first plate appearance. 294 hitter through 46 games this year, 11 doubles, and triple, a home run, 17 runs batted in. Pulls this one inside the line. It's a fair ball. Ricochets out toward Calhoun. Bogaerts on his way to third. Holt on his way to second. He's got himself a double.
Holt 5 for 10 versus the Halos this season now with that double. That one right down the line. Fourteenth hit of the game for Boston. Swihart behind in the count is 2 runners in scoring position.
Wild pitch. Bogaerts trying to score, and he is out at the plate. Just did get the hand in front of the cleat. Heck of a job by Maldonado. Hopefully he's all right. 2 down. Fortunate that ball ricocheted right back to Maldonado.
Yeah, Ron Rennicke's checking on that, see if he got that foot on there, but he got spiked right on the hand. Ricochets right back, and then the dive. See right here. Looked like he got him. I wonder if he didn't bend back the wrist on that slide in. Still able to control that baseball also for Maldonado. Seems like he's going to be all right.
Out to deep right center field. Calhoun racing over, makes the catch for the 3rd out. We head to the 9th. Boston on top 9-1. The dealers. Top of the ninth. Halos down by the score of 9-1. Justin Healy takes over for the Boston Red Sox. Brandon Workman worked a 1-2-3-8. Angels here in the ninth will have Valbuena, Maldonado, and Fletcher. Haley, the second game this season. Up to the big leagues for the first time with Minnesota last season. Valbuena took over defensively a couple of innings ago. First plate appearance for him. .217 batting average. The 1. Ball 1 strike. One, 2. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. Angels have stranded 6 tonight. Boston with 9 runs on 14 hits, no errors. Stranded 9 base runners. Only run off the bat of that man right there. Chris Young, a home run in the 3rd.
Had a chance too with the bases loaded. And with Albert Pujols at the plate with those great career numbers with the bases loaded, got a ground ball though. 3rd base, he got through the inning. Going back to my Hyundai key for this game, I don't want to miss a thing. Missed opportunities early, and then with Boston, the way they're swinging the bat, especially with the long ball, made it very difficult throughout this entire game, especially going to the bullpen for Mike Scioscia throughout, after Lamb was only able to go into the 2nd inning.
Trying to go the other way with it. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Bueno lifting one out to right field. One down.
When you go back to even the series in Anaheim versus the Red Sox, now we look at outscore 36-4. Andrew Heaney on the mound tomorrow night. It's really got to set the tone early on, put up a couple zeros, and this offense got to come out with some fire against Porcello. They've had some pretty good success as far as ERA for Porcello against the Angels, over 5 ERA. Andrew Heaney a chance to turn this around against the Red Sox tomorrow night.
Total of 8 hits for the Angels in the first 2 games of this road trip. 3 yesterday in the shutout. 5 so far tonight. 1 run. Maldonado 0 for 3, a little dribbler. Vasquez retires. Maldonado 2 down.
Land Rover above and beyond player of the game tonight. Jackie Bradley Jr. 3 for 4, double home run and a single, 4 RBI. Also a couple solid plays defensively out in center field.
So 2 outs. Here's David Fletcher, 0 for 2 with a walk. Red Sox pitchers have retired 10 straight. It's a single by Simmons in the 6th. Fletcher, good hack, fouls it back 2-1. Right next to the Angels dugout, that's Brooks Koepka, 2-time U.S. Open champion. He has stayed the entire game here.
It's pretty impressive what he has done.
Three balls, 1 strike. This is popped up on the infield. Lynn calls for it, and the Angels draft the opener of this 3-game set against Boston tonight. The final 9-1.
It comes down to once again the long ball for Boston in this game. Jackie Bradley Jr. big game. Mookie Betts got it started with a home run. First batter of the game. 4 home runs overall. Boston win first game of this 3-game set, 9-1.
David Price picks up the victory. John Lamb suffers the loss as Boston wins it 9.